We have a winter weather advisory in effect for most of the counties, especially where we saw some of that snowfall piling up to 2 or 3 inches. We still have some slick conditions on secondary roads. We'll show you where we could see some problems.
And icy conditions possible. The WRAL storm tracker is out on the roads for you this morning, letting you know what to expect before heading out.
Clear of danger. Neighbors aren't safe to return home after Raleigh police spent a second day investigating a suspicious discovery. The new developments we're finding this morning. Plenty to talk about here in the 6 o'clock hour on your Thursday. We're glad you're with us, spending your routine with us. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. What a week it's been. You know, my daughter, she's having the best week. She's a Wake County school student. She hasn't been in school all week. Monday, MLK Day, Tuesday, Teacher Work Day, and then 2 snow days. Parents, you know how it is. After a winter storm, we have lingering impacts, and we are tracking those for you this morning. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with another winter weather alert.
Yeah, like winter break, kind of like spring break early. You know, I think there'll still be some issues tomorrow morning as well, just because it's not going to warm up that much today. We do have a winter weather advisory. No more precipitation, but this is just, you know, an alert. There are going to be some slick spots on the road. We'll take a look at Franklinton, a live look here, and you can see, you know, on the edge of the road here, there's some ice. There was a big icy patch in my neighborhood when I was leaving this morning. So you're going to run into a little bit of that, but not a lot. I mean, a lot of the streets are clear like this here in Franklinton. It is 17 degrees with a northeast wind at 3 miles per hour. Whew, so it feels chilly. We have another cold weather advisory in effect. It feels like 12 in the Triangle, Roxborough, South Hill at 12 in Fayetteville. So it's cold out there. Earlier this morning, our wind chill was down into the single digits in some places. This afternoon, if the kids are out playing, if there's any snow left, it will feel like the upper 20s. But the actual high will be a little warmer. Highs will climb into the mid to upper 30s. And we do have a warming trend into the weekend, which we'll check out coming up, Ken.
6:01, Elizabeth. We're monitoring those icy patches that you just mentioned with the help of meteorologist Anthony Baglione and photographer Charles Bradley. In the WRAL storm tracker, he is in East Raleigh this morning, giving us a first-hand account of what he's seeing. Anthony, what are you seeing this morning?
Ken, we are on Millbrook Road at this point. I'm going to take you over here to the roads, kind of show you what we're seeing out there currently. The main roads, as we've been advertising, looking really good. We haven't seen any issues on them. You can see some of that leftover snow still on the side, but the crews have done a really good job with that. It's the side roads, the parking lots. If you're headed to the grocery to get groceries here in the next couple of hours, that can be a little bit deceptive where we have those slick spots. And definitely we have seen some patches of ice on those neighborhood roads. So I would encourage people, be careful on the neighborhood roads. Be careful everywhere, but at this point, Ken, thankfully the main roads are looking pretty good.
Yeah, and that's in keeping with what we're seeing right now as well. As we take a live look at I-40 and Wade Avenue this morning. There's a still shot taken in the last couple of minutes or so, but traffic flowing nicely in all directions. We're not getting any incidents being reported. We do have a report of some type of road hazard at Capitol Boulevard and Perry Creek. Could be some icy patches on that intersection. Just be mindful of that as you're getting ready to head out. You're getting ready to head out the door this morning. You've got 3 options to listen to us. 99.3 FM in Raleigh, 96.5 FM in Durham. And for newer model cars, you can find us at 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks. Those possible icy spots will pose a hazard for you this morning as you drive. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live this morning in Northwest Raleigh on Country Trail Road. And Kelsey, that stretch of road is still pretty slick.
Yes, Renee, it is. And even the sidewalks are slick. We'll even show you this little ice patch here that I almost slipped on earlier this morning. We do have our temperature gun with us this morning. So you can see here that the road temperature is at 15 degrees right now. So this is why our meteorologist has been telling you about those concerns with refreezing. You can see here that there's still snow and leftover ice here on this road. And this is right off of Leesville Road. This is around about 3 different schools in the area. So that's obviously why Wake County schools and several other school districts in our area have decided to close school today because it would be so difficult for students to get to and from school on the buses. We did check in with Lee Gardner from Lee's 24-hour towing. He says they have been receiving calls constantly since the start of this winter weather. And he says folks should be really careful driving, especially in the early morning hours.
Black ice is when we have the bad wrecks. They're the ones that hit trees. They're the ones that cause more damage, cause more injuries than we get when the cars are just sliding off the road or sliding into a ditch.
And we'll give you another look again at these icy road conditions here on this neighborhood road. We've been telling folks all morning that's really where the concern is. Most of the main roads are clear, but secondary roads are where we're seeing most of those issues. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And Kelsey showing us there why Wake County schools are closed today because of concern about icy roads. Durham, Orange, and Johnston County schools are all closed as well. You can see them on this map in red, along with other counties whose schools are closed. The green counties will have remote learning today, and you can see the full list on WRAL.com. If you get outside to make the most of the snow day, we want to see it. Make sure it's safe to take pictures or video. Then go to WRAL.com/report it or on the WRAL News app to send those in.
Authorities need your help finding this child who is missing and possibly in danger. 11-year-old Caden Townsend is his name. He's believed to be with his father. Cumberland County deputies say Caden's father should be considered armed and dangerous. Caden's about 5 feet 4 inches tall. He's an 11-year-old again, as I said, about 110 pounds, has brown hair, brown eyes. Sheriff's office says 31-year-old Reginald Townsend stole a silver Nissan Rogue on Cypress Lakes Road in Fayetteville and took Caden with him. Townsend has outstanding warrants for probation violation and larceny. He is about 5'6", about 200 pounds, brown eyes and black hair. Picture both of them right there on your screen. The SUV they are in believed to be a North Carolina license plate of FFL 7367. Sheriff's office says you should not approach that vehicle or Townsend. If you see him, you should call 911 immediately.
Breaking news. Deputies are investigating a death at a home in Hope Mills. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office says they found a man dead just before 1 this morning. Nick Perlin just got there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Nick, what can you tell us?
Well, Renee, Cumberland County deputies still have this home behind me taped off. This is in Hope Mills here, and I'm going to step out of the way and show you. You can see the front lawn here still taped off, and we also saw deputies here with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office looking for fingerprints on the front door of this home. This is here in Medicus Lane in Hope Mills, and we know that Cumberland County deputies were doing some sort of well-being check early this morning, and that's when they found this man dead. So at this point in time, we're still working with the Sheriff's Department here to figure out what happened, how this man died. We do know that they have somebody in custody. We're still working to find out who that person is. Once we get more information, we'll be sure to update you throughout the morning. Live in Hope Mills, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Raleigh police say a man who killed his ex-wife's boyfriend before exchanging gunfire with police on Tuesday had a lengthy criminal past. A police officer who was shot in that exchange remains in critical condition this morning. Investigators were back on the scene in the Renaissance Park neighborhood yesterday. A bomb squad searched the car of 70-year-old Antonio Rodriguez after suspicious items were found inside it. They determined there was no danger to the public. Police say Rodriguez killed 73-year-old John Rowe before shooting the officer. They have not shared the name of the officer yet. Rodriguez also died during the shooting.
A person is dead after losing control while driving and crashing into a creek in Fayetteville. The crash happened on Shaw Mill Road near Ridge Road. Ice was on that road. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there and confirmed the road was extremely slick, but police have not told us if the crash can be blamed on the weather.
Southern California is now facing a threat from another fast-growing wildfire. 31,000 people are under evacuation orders as the Hughes Fire, as it's called, is spreading north of Los Angeles. The fire broke out yesterday morning. Strong winds quickly spread it. It has already burned more than 9,400 acres. Right now, it's not threatening any buildings. Interstate 5, though, was closed for hours yesterday afternoon. It has since reopened.
A mother and her 2 children are out of their home after a fire in Johnston County. This happened in the Flowers Plantation community east of Clayton last night. Crews found fire coming from the upper floor of that home. Firefighters faced a challenge as water coming from their hoses froze on the ground, creating some pretty slick, difficult conditions for them. No one was hurt. Investigators are working to determine the cause.
A man wanted by Raleigh police on charges including accessory to murder is now in custody. Officers arrested Anthony Dunn yesterday. He was wanted for assault with a dangerous weapon, accessory after the fact to murder, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. A 17-year-old wanted for murder at a Robeson County Walmart has been arrested in Chicago. This is a picture of officers arresting Ezekiel Burden yesterday. He's one of two people accused in the shooting death of Brandy Olson last month inside a Lumberton Walmart. Police say Burden and the other person were targeting someone else, and Olson was an innocent bystander. Burden is charged with first-degree murder. Tied up in the courts, a case to determine which candidate won a seat on the North Carolina Supreme Court must go to trial. The ruling from the state Supreme Court.
And snow, ice, and record-breaking cold create paralyzing conditions across much of the South. How several states that were in the path of that storm are doing this morning.
And it is a WRAL weather alert day for those slick spots. Our temperatures are in the teens this morning. Partly cloudy skies means more melting, but more refreezing overnight tonight. I'll show you when we'll break that cycle coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, waking up to another winter weather advisory for the areas where we saw more significant snow yesterday, 1 to 3 inches. We still have some slippery spots on those neighborhood streets, secondary streets. So we don't have any more precipitation in the forecast, but there's some slippery places. It's also really cold out there. Our temperatures are right now in the teens, and we do have that cold weather advisory again. Wind chills down to single digits in some spots. We had 9 degrees in one spot earlier at 8 right now in Clinton, 10 in Rocky Mount, 12 in Roxborough and the Triangle. So it's going to be another one of those really cold starts. Sanford looking mostly clear, but this was a shady spot beside the building yesterday. And notice it's still fairly snowy. You're going to run into a little bit of that. It will be a warmer day. This afternoon we climb into the mid-30s. Ken?
Elizabeth, we're tracking those main roads, which are free and clear this morning. There's one of them, I-87 and New Hope Road. You can see traffic flowing nicely in both directions. And really and truly, all the main roads are clear. It's those secondary roads, those rural roads, those neighborhood roads that are, we're seeing some patchy spots. I've been telling you about that road hazard at Perry Creek and Capitol Boulevard. We have the breaking news tracker, the storm tracker rather. Drive through there. It's all free and clear. Similarly, all the major routes are delay-free at this hour.
Thanks, Ken. The snow may be gone, but cold temperatures and icy conditions remain across much of the South. The winter storm left several people dead. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey has been following this story. And Michelle, we're talking about the Deep South, a region that rarely sees snow.
Yeah, Renee, it's so sad. At least 10 people are confirmed dead this morning after the winter blast moved across parts of the Gulf Coast on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're talking record low temperatures and snowfall, sleet and freezing rain from Texas up through the Carolinas, causing widespread closures and travel disruptions, including stranded motorists and thousands of canceled flights. Passengers finally moving at Tampa's airport, where dozens of flights were delayed and canceled. And in Jacksonville, officials there say 3 bridges are open again after multiple crashes closed them. And a historic 10 inches of snow swept parts of New Orleans, shutting down airports there as well. Atlanta's airport hit with just over 1 inch of snow, but in DeKalb County, officials there issuing a state of emergency.
We have also treated more than 500 tons of roads with sand, of course, salt and calcium chloride. So this is a very serious condition that we're facing.
The National Weather Service said travel impacts may linger for several days, given the historic heavy accumulations combined with those frigid temperatures we're still seeing.
3 people, including a police officer and a child, are in the hospital after a shooting in Ohio. Police were called to reports of a possibly suicidal man yesterday. When officers approached that man, he started shooting at them. A 4-year-old girl was hit in the head while she was at a nearby dentist office. An officer was also hit in the head. Both were flown by helicopter for treatment. The officer was in critical condition. The child's condition is not known at this time. The gunman was shot several times. He was also taken to the hospital.
The effort to throw out 60,000 votes in the still undecided race for a state Supreme Court seat will need to go to trial in Wake County. Republican candidate Jefferson Griffin filed the lawsuit. He appears to have lost a tightly contested race with Democratic incumbent Allison Riggs. He called on the state Supreme Court to throw out the votes, saying they were invalid. That would change the results of the race. Now, the state Supreme Court issued an order yesterday saying a trial is necessary. And while the case remains tied up in the courts, Riggs remains on the bench.
An immigration detention bill is headed to the president's desk to be signed into law after it has passed the U.S. House. The measure requires the Department of Homeland Security to detain undocumented migrants who are charged with certain crimes, including theft and burglary. The bill was named the Laken Riley Act to honor a college student killed in Georgia last year by an undocumented migrant from Venezuela. The legislation passed the Senate earlier this week. Unexpected storm damage for people living in northern Florida. Take a look at this swimming pool. The enclosure here collapsed from the force of that winter blast. The windows were broken. It'll take days, maybe weeks, to assess the property damage across that entire region.
Sledding and snowmen were part of the fun in Wrightsville Beach after the snowfall. This was the first significant accumulation to hit the area in years. A good-looking snowman. People were seen on the snow-covered beaches yesterday. One person was even out there surfing despite the cold. Drivers were careful to navigate the slushy roads as that snow started to melt. But apparently a good packing snow, enough to make a snowman, Jeff.
Surfing on the snow?
Yeah.
A little bit as well there, too. That's a shot of the mountains coming to the coast for us. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with another look around our viewing area, some of that lingering snow.
Yeah, some of those kids there, even some kids here have never seen snow before. Anybody who's, 3 or 4 years old or younger. And I love that sledding on the beach. Really cool. Yesterday, all that sunshine did a good job at melting, but not everywhere. There was still a little water left in spots. So there's some slippery places. This morning, though, the streets were covered, yesterday morning at this time, the streets were covered in Fayetteville, Apex, and even here in Chapel Hill. It was interesting to watch. By lunchtime yesterday, this intersection was completely melted, still a little on the wet side, but conditions are looking good here. Of course, we have Anthony and the Storm Tracker out there taking a look at the roads, and all the main roads are looking pretty good. Still some snow lingering in spots, though. Of course, this is right here in our backyard, and the gardens, the WRAL gardens, are covered in snow still. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for the counties where we saw 1 to 3 inches of snow, because we do have neighborhood streets that are slippery. I had a big patch of ice in my neighborhood as I was leaving this morning. Our road temperatures are in the teens, but once the sun comes up, we give it till around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, that sun will go to work again, really melting everything. Cold weather advisory for some of us. It is feeling like single digits to teens. It feels like 8 right now in Clinton, 10 in Rocky Mount, 12 in Roxborough, 12 in the Triangle. So it's another very, very cold morning out there. High pressure here may feed a little bit of cloud cover in as the sun comes up. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds, but we have no more snow in our forecast anytime soon, and no rain in the forecast either, really, for the next 7 days. That means, outdoor plans for the weekend are going to be fine. We'll be in the mid 40s on Saturday, so still below normal, but highs on Sunday back into the 50s should be near normal. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Precipitation outlook as we wrap up the month is above normal, but our temperatures also look above normal in terms of the trend as well. So not great for snow lovers, but maybe this was all the snow we're going to see. We take a look at the outlook for February, and the temperatures are trending above normal as well. So good news or bad news, depending on who you are. If you're ready for it to warm up, check out Wednesday, almost 60 degrees, Ken.
We're staying on top of these road conditions, Elizabeth, because, what melted yesterday refroze overnight, courtesy of the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning. It's in Old Wake Forest Road in North Raleigh, giving us a first-hand account of what we're seeing this morning. And basically, this is one of the main roads that's really free and clear. It's those secondary roads that we're really concerned about, those neighborhood roads that were not treated before the storm. So just be careful out there and be mindful of those icy patches that that you might come across. Even Elizabeth just mentioned coming into work this morning, she ran into a couple and she had to drive around them. So we'll keep it outside, give you a live look at I-87 and New Hope Road this morning. Traffic is beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing nicely in both directions. All the major routes from Wendell to Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill are free and clear. You're getting ready to head out this morning. Tune us in on the radio, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, 96.5 FM in Durham. And for newer model cars, you can find us at 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Torched over TikTok. A 19-year-old in Wisconsin is accused of setting fire to a congressman's office. Why the popular social media app TikTok could be his motive.
And a major budgeting shortfall. Durham Public School Board discovers a $7 million gap in funding. What we know about hundreds of positions that slipped through the cracks.
And ahead this morning on Today, is it time to ditch the black plastic utensils in your kitchen? New research and potential health concerns you need to know about to keep your family safe.
Here's a look at your winning lottery numbers.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Decades after their on-screen chemistry, Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal are teasing a long-awaited reunion.
And Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending. Ken, this is exciting.
This is so overdue. In an Instagram post, Meg Ryan releasing this picture captioned, "It's finally happening. We're reuniting for something iconic. Can't wait to show you all soon." Ryan and Crystal, of course, starred in that hit movie When Harry Met Sally, which released more than 35 years ago.
They're so adorable. Now, some people are speculating maybe they're reuniting for a Super Bowl commercial. You know, that's coming up. But no, people are hoping for a sequel or another movie with the two of them. So iconic. And of course, that iconic line, "I'll have what she's having."
Yeah. Reuniting, kind of vague, right?
Yes.
Reuniting. So, yeah, it is Super Bowl ad season.
Yes.
Yeah, hoping for a sequel.
I'm looking forward to that. Hey, The White Lotus trending this morning. The popular comedy drama series coming back for a fourth season on HBO just a few weeks before season 3 debuts. Now, we don't know where season 4 will take place or which cast members will return. The show's much anticipated third season drops February 16th.
So how about that for, fourth season ready before the third season even starts. So that's a big hit when it comes that way.
Huge.
Because, I still have to wrap up second season. Get caught up to speed on that before the third one starts.
Same here. Much more to come on WRAL News.
We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for places that saw a bit more snow yesterday. Some of those neighborhood streets are still on the slick side. I will talk about when the temperatures will climb above freezing.
Plan extra time for your commute this morning. You're looking live in North Raleigh. The WRAL Storm Tracker showing you some icy conditions that could be a problem as you start your drive. They're looking for trouble spots this morning, and we'll show you what we find.
Also, proof of financial progress. St. Aug's University must prove it is moving in the right direction or face further accreditation troubles. The deal that could decide the university's fate.